Hello, 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 hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit woo, because that's how I feel. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for joining me wherever you are across the globe. I don't know whether it's morning, evening, it's evening here in the UK or afternoon. Welcome. I send you greetings. It is so good to have you here, whether you're watching me live or on the replay. I send you greetings. Thank you for joining me and welcome. So, this is the She Health Show for those of you who are joining me for the first time, and it is a show that focuses on shifting you from your current reality in order to transform your life. My name is Jacqueline Lewis. I am a mindfulness and body confidence coach, and I support women to build good experiences, to build practices, in good health. And how do I do that? To experience and build practice in good health. I had my words got stuck there for a minute, so you'll have to forgive me. Yeah, to experience and build practice in good health. And how do I do that? Well, I support them by teaching them to accept their bodies today, love it tomorrow, and to appreciate it always, because it is God's will for us to be well, and that is what I'm here to do, is to serve. That is my role. That is my job. That is what God has ordained me to do. So, for those of you who didn't join last week, we were talking about moving from chaos to calm. Okay, so we're talking about mindfulness, being mindful, being present in the moment, being aware of what is happening around us and how we deal with certain things that may come up, having a mindset that is wholesome in how we manage our emotions. And today I'm going to be continuing with the same topic, and at the end of it, so I'm going to be talking for a few minutes, giving you some teachings on mindfulness and etc. And then we're going to go into maybe a 5-minute meditation as we start to wind down. Okay, so if occasionally you see me looking away from the camera, it's because I am looking at my notes that I have here, and I actually want to make sure that you get everything. All right, so sorry, my phone is ringing and I just need to make sure that is switched off because we don't want any interruptions. All right, then, here we go. How are you all doing? Have you had a good week? Have you had a good weekend? How's your week gone last week and the weekend? I certainly hope it was a blessed one for you. And because things can happen, can't they? You know, that's life. Things happen, and things happen that can get us down. And certain things we don't know, that it plays on the mind and we're not sure how to manage it, how to manage those emotions. But this is where mindfulness comes in. And I hope with what I'm teaching you, because at the end of each session, I plan to give you a little bit of homework that you can do at home, little tools and tips that you can implement to help you be more mindful in your approach toward things. Is that okay? If you are hearing me and that's okay with you, just give a thumbs up in the comments, and I'll be very happy with that. Okay, all right then. So I'm going to recap on what we talked about last week. So we spoke on mindfulness and what mindfulness is. Okay, so mindfulness, sorry, let me just get my notes here. So mindfulness is the state, is being able to move to a state of being present, to be able to manage your emotions, because things happen and we don't know. Life experiences hit us, and they can hit us hard, and we don't know how to manage those emotions. And you know what? Let me give you a little bit of experience, my personal experience. I was one of those that used to wake up And I didn't like Mondays because of the old Monday blues. And I'd be in a bad mood on a Monday after the weekend. And I think most of us can relate to that. And also, I would be one of those that's, well, why are you in a bad mood? Oh, I got out of the wrong side of the bed. And then as I journeyed my way to wholeness to become the woman that I am today, I actually realized, you know what? There is actually no Monday blues. You know, this is me personally talking, and this is my experience. I'm not putting that on anybody else. But I realized, one, there's no Monday blues. I can choose to bring this my own sunshine if I want to a Monday. And two, there's no wrong side of the bed. What there are choices. We can choose to operate and choose joy, or we can choose to operate in that mood, which is not serving us in any wholesome way. It's not serving us. So I made a stance to no longer buy into the Monday blues and getting out of the wrong side of the bed. And my children, if you speak to my children, and I'm a person that just jumps out of bed in the morning with a smile on my face, giving thanks to God for life. That is me. And yes, sometimes we do end up in a mood, and sometimes that mood can stay with us throughout the day, and you try to shift it and you can't. So what I did was go back to that point where I was triggered, and what was the preceding thought before that mood, before I was consumed with that mood. And then find ways to move through that without affecting everybody else, because I found that my mood would spill over into and affect everybody else, and that just wasn't fair. So it's really important to also make sure you have somebody that you can speak to, somebody that you can trust, and somebody that you can offload to without any judgment. And that's the one thing that I found helped me in my journey. So we are talking about today's topic is mindlessness. Yes, in most things there is an opposite. We have a happy, we have sad, we have good, we have bad, we have mindfulness, and we have mindlessness. So today I'm going to speak to you briefly on mindlessness. It is, again, a broad topic, like I said last week. The topic is very, very broad, but in this space that I have here, I'm going to try and give you the important bits, okay, so that you can go away and implement what you need from that. Okay, so we've got mindfulness. So let me just recap. To move to a state of mindfulness, we first need to acknowledge our current reality and understand that the thought patterns we are shifting from. So research shows that we have on average 70,000 thoughts a day. Our mind is constantly going. It's just ticking over all the time. 70,000 thoughts a day. 3,000 thoughts per minute. Research shows that we have 3,000 thoughts per minute, the majority of which tend to be negative. So those thoughts can be experiences that have happened in our lives. So it could be sickness, it could be relationship breakdown, it could be financial worries. In the back pocket of our minds, our life experiences and those things that we've encountered that have impacted us emotionally are there. And now and again, they may push through, and you have one dominant thought in amongst all of those negative thoughts that will push through and affect the way that we think. And it's learning how to, and the way that we act or interact with others because of our past experiences. And so it's really important to be aware of those thoughts when they rise, and to pause and to ask ourselves, which is the one thing that I had to learn to do, is that thought that's come through right now is making me feel this way. It's making me feel anxious. It's making me feel agitated. Or is that thought serving me? No, it's not serving me. And then I had to move away from that and think about something that was wholesome. I would put music on, or, I would read, or I would talk to somebody. But you do what you can to shift from that thought that is not serving you, that is bringing you down. You literally have to take that thought and bring it into subjection, capture it, bring it into subjection. You've acknowledged it's there, and I shared this with you last week. You've acknowledged it's there, but you make up your mind that you are not serving me. I am not going to allow you to take over my thought world. When there's greater things, awesome things, holy things, honest things, pure things that I can be focusing on. Okay, so mindfulness, we learned, is existed for many, many years. It is the practice of being present in the mind. It means slowing down to really notice what you're doing. Okay, it benefits our health and well-being. And you may have noticed people that practice mindful living, they may appear very self-contained, very calm. People that in my company tend to, and I've heard this a lot, that tend to say that I have a very calming presence, and you may find that in somebody that is a believer, that believes in God. So don't be surprised if somebody you get into conversation with, or you meet, has that kind of persona, that they may be practicing mindfulness, which is really just to keep your thoughts pure and be present, and not allow that negative pattern of thinking to consume you. Okay. So, as I said, in order to gain a deeper understanding of mindfulness, we need to realize that mindfulness has an opposite called mindlessness. So, what is mindlessness? It often involves acting without thought, drifting from situation to situation without any real self-awareness. And we as a society, as people, are quite often on autopilot in the things we do. And mindless living can be detrimental to our health. So I've got a few examples for you. I've got a list here, and I'm going to go through them. And I just want you to ask yourself, how many of these symptoms do you see in your own life daily, on a daily basis, or you have experienced in the past? Overeating, anxiety, sadness, anger, feeling isolated, feeling that you're missing out on something better, constantly worrying, complaining a lot. You just moan and moan. You just find yourself moaning a lot over anything. The inability to relax and enjoy the moment and appreciate the moment. Irritation with yourself and others. Unable to concentrate, relying on maybe alcohol or drugs, or you've got a bad relationship with food, you overeat, you comfort eat. Lack of self-control, losing control of our eating habits, unforgiveness, not able to forgive yourself or others. I'm just going to pause for a minute whilst I let that sink in, let that land. It's interesting, isn't it? There are things that we do on a daily basis, and there's a lot of these here that I've actually lived and experienced myself. So some areas of our lives are lived with, but some areas of our lives are lived with mindful awareness, okay, and others with a complete lack of mindfulness. For example, you have a loving parent or loving parents, and they raise their child with complete affection, full on mindful guidance, nurturing and loving that child, not realizing that they're practicing almost perfect mindfulness. They're just getting on with the job of being a good parent, practicing the job of mindfulness, almost perfect mindfulness, because there is no such thing as a perfect parent, really. We learn as we go along. Yet, that same parent, this is where the mindlessness now comes in, has no control over their own poor self-image or their poor diet or their poor relationships. Yeah. The loving parent raises the child with complete affection and mindful guidance, not realizing that they are practicing perfect mindfulness, almost perfect mindfulness, but that same parent has no control over their own poor self-image, over their poor diets, for example, or their poor relationships. That's where the mindless comes in. So we live in a mindless society, and most people run through life not paying much attention to themselves or anything else other than getting to the next thing that needs doing. So the benefits of mindful living are: it improves health, it improves mental health, it helps relieve stress, it improves heart and circulatory health because it involves the breathing, which gets us to pause and to slow down. It lowers blood pressure, it improves sleep, it helps reduce pain, and it helps reduce addictive and self-destructive behavior. Now, if you are going through anything at all, I don't want you to be I don't want you to discount your situation or your pain points or anything that you are going through, because that is your situation and no one is here to judge you on anything. But I just want to let you know that there is a way out, okay? So if you believe that your daily habits and your conduct are closer to mindless than mindfulness, do not despair. You are not alone, and it does not make you a bad person. And the journey to living in mindfulness is entirely possible, but it takes time, effort, and sometimes it takes professional help. Don't be ashamed to seek professional help, whether you go to see a therapist, a counselor, a cognitive behavior therapist. Don't be afraid to seek that. And there is a technique that you can practice when you find negative thoughts happening, and it is called STOP. S-T-O-P, the stop technique. So the S is to simply pause. The T is to take a few deep breaths. The O is to observe your thoughts and the emotion you may be feeling. And the P is to proceed in a different direction. Stop. Simply pause, take a few deep breaths, observe your thoughts and the emotion you may be feeling, and proceed in a different direction. Applying mindfulness in your day-to-day life will help you to become the master of your thoughts, as opposed to the negative thought pattern being the master of you. So, my darlings, it's about practicing and thinking on things that are honest, that are true, things that are right, that are pure, things that are lovely and admirable and excellent and worthy of praise. So I'm just going to real quick now just bring you into a time of relaxation and meditation before we close. I hope this is a very, very broad subject, and I've tried to condense it. If you can go back and catch the replay for the stop technique, and please don't be afraid to put your comments, and I will respond if you want any further information. Okay, so making sure that you are comfortable, whether you are lying or whether you are sitting, I want you to relax. I want you to close your eyes. Okay, I want you to know that you are safe. I want you to just, thoughts are going to come in your head, allow them to come, but don't engage with them. I want you to take a deep breath in. So take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, your tummy should extend out. So if you put your fingertips over your tummy, as you breathe out, they should start to come to separate, okay? So breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's get rid of those toxins. Give me another big, deep breath. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. One more deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And I just want you to relax. Know that you're safe. Whether you're lying, whether you are sitting, you are safe. Relax the jaw. Relax the brows. Make sure the tongue is not hitting on the stuck to the roof of your mouth. And just allow the calmness just to travel from your head down to your neck. Just feel that peace, just that calm. Just imagine God's arms wrapping around you, down through the shoulders, through the arms, the chest, the back, down to the waist, down to the pelvis. Be aware of what you are feeling in those areas. If there's any tension there, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Down to the thighs, to the knees. Allow it to travel down to the legs, the shins, the calves, the ankles, the feet, the toes, the fingers, the wrists. And just take a deep breath in through the nose and just breathe out, breathe some appreciation to that body. And give me one more deep breath in and breathe out and relax and rub those hands together. Let's generate some heat as I bring you back into the room and just flutter those eyelids open. Next time I will do a longer relaxation with you. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been an absolute pleasure. This subject is really broad and I have so much that I need to teach you on this. And as we go through the weeks, I hope to bring you more and more. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for joining me. You are wonderful. For those of you joining me on the replay, I hope you also get something out of this. So may God bless you. May God keep you. If there's anything that you would like more on, please don't be afraid to put it in the comments. May God bless you. May God keep you for the remainder of this week. Please remember to do the stop technique. That is your homework. And I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I guess I'm on here for a bit longer. Oh, okay. I'll give you a little bit more then. I don't know what's happening there, but hey, I'll grab it. I will grab it. You don't need to tell me twice. I will grab it. Yes. So one of the subjects that I want to bring to you actually is busyness. So that is so broad. You know, so many of us don't have time to, you know, I was saying that we move from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. Yeah. We get so busy that life is actually passing us by. And you know what? For me, busyness does not get a badge of honor for me. No, because life is just too important. Life is just too important. It allows you're catching up with yourself, you're chasing your tail. No, that is a topic that I cannot wait to bring to this platform, and I will bring it in a couple of weeks. So I hope you look forward to hearing that. I know there is somebody coming on after me, so I'm going to say good night. I'm going to say God bless. Thank you once again for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your week. Please remember to practice the stop technique and let me know how you get on, and I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me. God bless.